Speaking of meaningful, there was a extremely meaningful concert that took place last night in New York City at Lincoln Center. We have had the star of the show visit here 2 times already, kind of giving us little interviews along the way on his world tour. But Mario Frangoulis is going to be calling in shortly. Apparently, it was just a unbelievable concert last night, like just breathtaking, and I'm thrilled that he is able to kind of dial us in shortly, and
we'll get to actually see him on solid ground here in LA,
heading to LA
this weekend.
Right.
And you had posted on Facebook photos of him, and oh my God, talk about stalkers. You guys want to stalk this guy, but in a very positive way. He is so darn good looking, but he's also kind and compassionate, a humanitarian. So it's really lovely when you see someone like that who's very holistic, all parts of himself, and really giving back, and
right,
very grounded.
Right, for sure. And if you want to get tickets, we will have 2 tickets that we are going to give away, and I think that's going to happen. I don't know if it's happening on the show, but it's definitely happening on social media within today, tomorrow. But it is at the Wilshire Ebell Theater, which is, again, a very iconic. The names that have crossed that stage it's pretty extraordinary. So that is happening this Saturday, 8:00, right here in Los Angeles, and he will be singing the tunes.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to see him this weekend here. I'm really looking forward to it.
I actually I didn't get to hear any of this Christmas album that he has coming out. So I definitely want to talk to him about it. But some of the songs that you can just pull up either on SoundCloud or on YouTube, his voice is just so incredible. It's rich. It just brings back memories of Pavarotti. And some of the covers that he's done, you just are like, I want to hear that again.
And incredible, and quite a range. He was talking on the show before about, being mentored by Placido Domingo, and then also what the Moody Blues did music with him or whatever. What a range, from the Moody Blues to the ultimate, operatic. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. And being from, I know last night there was because he's from Greece, and there was a lot of folks, I guess, in the audience there. And one in particular is, I guess, one of the most decorated Greek athletes. And so that kind of really struck a chord with me in that, I love the Olympics, and I love that whole history of the games, and so I want to know their connection. But anyway, here he is. He's calling right now. So let's see. Maybe he's had a few hours of sleep. Mario, it's Kathy and Catherine. How are you?
Hello. How are you? Very happy to speak to you.
I was just saying that it must have been an absolutely extraordinary concert last night, and maybe you got a couple of hours of sleep.
I think we rocked the place. It was good. I love the idea, people getting up and singing, and the whole place was like, like you invited your best friends to come and have a party or something like that. It was great.
Wow.
I haven't had that experience yet, but it was really, really cool, very good.
Wow, that's amazing.
All the dance songs, Bésame Mucho, all the, the different aspects of the concert, the musical theater, surprises that we had. We had Frances Ruffelle, who was the Tony Award-winning performer of Eponine. She created the role of Eponine in Les Miserables in 1985, and then she played it on Broadway and won the Tony in 87. So she was my special guest last night, and that was fun.
Amazing.
So it was great. It was really, really good, and a fantastic crowd.
Had you ever performed at Lincoln Center before?
I performed before, yes. Once before at the Rose, and once more at the Allen Room, which is the other great theater which overlooks the park, Central Park. So It was just, it's just a beautiful venue because it's all made for singers and music. It's acoustically a great place, so you don't need too much amplification and too much, if your musicians are great and you have a good voice and a great selection of songs, that's it. The whole room becomes one with the feeling and the sentiment and what you do there on a live situation, and it was just fantastic, really good.
Wow. Sounds amazing. I'm quite surprised at the energy in your voice right now after a performance like that. So what is that like to be obviously in the midst of all of that, clearly adrenaline pouring, you're giving your, ultimate best, and then the next day...
Well, for a start, you don't know, the moment, I feel like the moment I go on stage, I become another person. In any case, something happens, something from inside that transforms me in that sense. And I felt that last night. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually going on stage and I'm actually going to start singing in a moment. And then I have to just calm down and concentrate on, the lyrics and the music, and that sort of takes me on a journey. I forget, in a sense, that I have a concert or I have a duty. I don't have anything, I'm just myself and the relationship that I have with the audience, and it's a beautiful relationship, and it's a beautiful feeling to perform live and to live this whole experience moment for moment.
Wow. What I'm hearing from you is you sound like you were just completely fully present, what they talk about there, like in the present moment, immersed where everything else fell away.
Oh, thank you. No, it was really great. And what I loved about it is that there was an amazing mix of crowd. I mean, from young people to, to our generation people, to older people. It was just a great mix of theater, pals and and the Greek audiences, and also from Colombia and Brazil and France and Vienna and Italy, and of course a lot of the US fans were there as well, and people who haven't seen me for a while singing this repertoire, which ranges from songs from my whole career, from just normal love ballads, simple love ballads, to great classical crossover pieces, and some classical, some Greek, some pop. But the way it blends, and the little stories that I tell in between, which are not necessarily the same every time. I never know what I'm going to say in the concert. I have an idea of what I might. The points that I'd love to put across, like peace and love and togetherness, and and a message for the children of this world, and how to be a hero in your own life. That kind of thing, which interests me, because I am so close to what happens to another human being, and these days are not so easy, unfortunately, with everything that's going on, and I'm even more aware now than ever. So it really makes sense being on stage and translating my feelings into songs, and the songs into feelings and back again.
Wow, you can heal the world through music now, can't you, Mario?
Sorry?
You can heal the world through music, can't you?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. Unfortunately, I can't do it all on my own. There has to be, we must all work together, as a community, as people of the world, citizens of this world, to make things happen, and work towards a better future, a safer future, and making sure that, everyone is who they want to be in their lives. But at the same time, they have to think of one another, of each other, and working towards a much happier situation, in the world.
Well, I think too the wonderful thing about what you're doing with your tours, and as much as it's, setting dates and going to cities all over the world, is that you are creating an opportunity for someone who does not know who you are, someone who's never heard your name, someone who's never heard you sing, and then someone who has never experienced your person, your your passion, your, as you're saying, how you care about children and care about peace and people being able to be kind
and education and finding out the truth in oneself, because I think that's very, very important to not get lost only on the career and making performing just another concert and creating only circumstances that are surrounding the career part of your life, but actually, in essence, who you really are as a human being, because I think it's very important to understand that, and then once we are okay with ourselves, then we can continue into embracing all nations and all cultures, and all people would be more together, I feel, I hope.
Yeah. So, speaking of traveling, you, I know you're coming out here, but aren't you taking a little stop in Montreal?
Yes, we're leaving tonight for Montreal, in fact, and tomorrow we have a press day, and I think the concert is on the following day.
Yeah, on the 9th.
It's on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Thursday the 9th is the concert in Montreal at Place des Arts, one of the most beautiful theaters. It's just a gem in the middle of in the center of Montreal.
Amazing.
And it's again one of those great venues that are acoustically perfect. It's like a great concert hall, like a classical concert hall, and it's been one of my dreams to go there, and I have a very strong fan basis, and also the public television, the PBS stations have been very kind to us, airing the shows over and over again, from Sometimes I Dream to Beautiful Things to Sing Me an Angel, which is the latest PBS show. So it's always a great thing to go back where you're wanted and where you're loved. And one of those places, of course, is Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be right there showing you the love. That's on Saturday.
Oh. No, I can't wait. I'm going to have some very special friends in Los Angeles as well, who have produced my albums and have been my great music friends for so many years since I started this career. Like six-time Grammy Award-winning producer and composer Jorge Calandrelli, who was the great producer and orchestrator for Tony Bennett's music for the last 30, 40 years.
Wow.
And, who's written a lot for Barbra Streisand and Celine Dion, and he's just and Placido Domingo. He's just a fantastic guy and a wonderful person that I feel like I'm in the presence of a master every time. The stories he tells, the studio ideas that he has, the producing creativity is incredible. So he will be there, and Steve Wood, my first producer, will be there, whose studio is in Laguna, and that was the first time I recorded was there. So I was a young aspiring tenor, sort of living my dreams in that studio. On my first contract with Sony Classical, and that was like a dream come true to be performing my first album.
Wow.
And Stefan Mocchio, I heard, is there. I mean, I have extended an invitation. He's a great guy, and he wrote Beautiful Things for me, the song, and The Face, and he now lives in Los Angeles. He's originally from Montreal, but he's a fantastic composer and producer, and I think he did I think he won a great prize for Grey's Anatomy. He did the music for that. And he's now enjoying a huge success and living in LA.
Wow, you got a big crowd coming.
Yeah.
We'll see some very special guests.
That's impressive. Question for you.
You'll be there, so that makes it even more special. And thank you so much for your support and your beautiful interviews. You're fantastic, both of you.
Thank you so much. Well, I have a question for you. When you do a concert in New York, you do one in Canada, you do one here. Do you tailor the concerts to the audience, or do you do the same concert and the energy basically shifts the performance?
It's the same concert. It's a little different it will be a little different in Montreal because I want to include some of the songs from my French repertoire, like some Jacques Brel songs like Ne me quitte pas, and I will sing Ukulele by Brecht in French, and maybe a song that I loved by Edith Piaf, like Hymne à l'amour, just to honor, the French-Canadian audiences as well. And once again, I think Los Angeles is going to be different. It's always the same idea, an intimate evening with Mario Frangoulis. So I tell various stories and I unfold my life through the songs and through the lyrics that I choose to perform in the concert. But it's always different because you have a different crowd with different, I wouldn't say demands, but preferences to certain songs. And I couldn't go to Los Angeles, for example, and not sing some of my David Foster and Calandrelli and Steve Wood songs. So it'll be different again, in order to honor those great producers in the music industry that I've worked with, and I have to sing their songs. I don't have to, I want to sing their songs. And it's another opportunity for me to always be on edge, I guess, to sing a different show every time, and that's the beauty of live performing, I think.
Right.
That you keep the basic performance going and the basic idea of the show, which I think is a good idea. I've never performed like this. It's always been either with a big orchestra or just going to promote a show or performing, for example, with Sarah Brightman, which is what we did as a guest of hers, singing Phantom of the Opera and all the classical sort of West End and Broadway hits.
But now, are you going to be doing, I was going to say, is that when you start, because you've got a whole list of concerts that you are doing for like a Christmas gala. Is that with her?
Called the Royal Christmas Gala. And it's the first time we do a Christmas concert tour together. We've done two very big concert tours, one in America and Canada, the US and Canada, 2017. And then last year we did another 23 concerts in Asia, in Japan and China, and Taiwan and South Korea. So that was a great journey in a sense. And this year, this journey will take us to Europe, to many of the Scandinavian countries, as well as Russia and Vienna, Budapest, Aalborg, Helsinki, all those amazing theaters and arenas. She mostly plays in arenas. But the other good thing is that we are also performing with a great group of singers, a great ensemble, who are very well known, and they are basically they sing chants, and so the whole thing is going to have a kind of gothic, mystic, spiritual idea as well, not just fun Christmas songs.
Wow!
So it'll be beautiful as always because she has fantastic production team, and she does these great big shows that I feel will be once again, will be adding to the excitement and the magic of the days.
So that brings me to a question, because I'm looking at your calendar. When are you practicing for this? or do you
when I
just?
practice
You're just
in
such
between.
I was going to say you're such a pro. You're just
on
playing
the
it on.
plane, in the house, in the flat.
Wow.
Of course, I
Wow.
practice all the time, but we also have a few days of rehearsals with Sarah. Once we finish the tour on North America, I go straight to Hamburg in Germany, and we start full dress rehearsals for 4 days, and then we perform our first concert. But we already know the material. We've known it. We've known the songs and the choice of songs since a few months ago, like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And we finalized everything in the last 20 days, 1 month, and we're ready to go. On to the next new venture after this.
You are amazing. I have the opposite question. When do you rest your voice is what I want to know.
Again, in between, like if I'm not, for example, I try to keep a very low profile in that sense of I don't speak to too many people and I don't socialize too much. It's all about focusing on making sure that the show will be amazing and I will be in good shape every time. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to. We overdo it as performers because we so much want to sing that we might book a few more concerts in a row than are necessary. Like, for example, we have a block of concerts which are like 6 or 7 in a row. And that's going to be a little tiring, and that's going to require absolute discipline and looking after myself, not making sure that I only have 1 glass of wine, let's say, every 3 days, and sleep well and sleep early and not talk too much and be completely concentrated on being well for the next show.
Well, listen, we are going to help you with that discipline. We have chatted long enough. Your voice needs to rest. We actually have somebody who was visiting, who actually attended your concert last night, calling in. So we are going to get the audience perspective of your incredible talent and show that you put on last night. But listen, take care. We look forward to seeing you in Los Angeles.
You too. We had really great people. Also, the gold shower. I know this would be interesting to you because you care about someone's life and health and fitness and all of that. And I wanted to share that Ioannis Melissanidis was there, who's a gold medalist, Olympic medalist for Greece, for us Greeks, and we were very proud that he does sort of ground gymnastics, and he won gold medalist, and he's such a generous person, and he's now on Broadway, sort of trying to get onto the stage, the Broadway stage, and he was there last night. Enjoyed the show, and I thought I'd mention that to you because he really loved the show, and I know you'd be interested because he's an athlete like yourselves.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we will definitely look forward to seeing you. Rest up, safe travels. Have a wonderful concert in Montreal, and we'll see you out here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mariah.
Take care of yourselves.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, I think we have on the line Bianca. Are you there? Hello? Oh,
Out there was Bianca with the fan.
I think she is. Let's see. Maybe she'll call. Let me see if she'll call back. Wow. I'm exhausted.
I don't know. I actually don't know Mario's age, but boy, that man has some energy. Incredible.
Wow.
And such a professional, combination of a professional and a humanitarian, and clearly talented off the charts.
And so disciplined and I was just saying, here, let's see if she's here. Hey, you're on the air with Kathy and Catherine. How are you?
Well, hello there, beautiful women. How are you?
Hey, great. How are
Super
you
good.
doing? Are you surviving there? I know you have to be behind the scenes and really doing your work there, sister. Amazing.
Well, let me tell you, ladies, you are in for a treat. I came on board, excuse me, I think there's a little background noise. I came on board with Mario a little bit ago, and I had never seen him live. And I completely fangirled, which I know everybody will do.
Wow.
But let me just tell you, his energy is electric. His control is amazing. And the way that he just captivates an audience. You walk in and, oh my gosh, he opened last night with, oh goodness, I just blanked, but he, Come What May. It was Come What May.
Oh, I
and
know
as he did it, you just heard the whole audience go,
oh my gosh. I was listening to that last night.
Oh my gosh, it was so fantastic. And I can't even describe to you, I have a musical background myself, and just being a child who grew up in rehearsals and knowing what it was like to be that disciplined, you only aspired to be around somebody that great. And then the next thing you know, you're listening to him and you're a whole other world. And then he goes into Bésame Mucho, the song my dad used to sing to me as a kid, and I'm crying and I'm thinking, oh my God, wait, he's singing me. My dad used to sing it to me. Oh my God, I love him. And wait, hold on, wait a minute, I'm in Rose Hall. I mean, you just go through this whole experience.
Wow, you must
and you don't even realize it.
I imagine you must be very grateful that you have this job, Bianca, to get paid for that. Incredible. Wow.
Well, apart from that, I mean, he's truly a dream to be with. He's a humanitarian. He loves everything he does. I'm sorry, ladies, if you hear this, it's because we're on the road and I just stepped aside and people are walking through.
No, you're fine. We hear you.
He's a dream.
Yeah,
he's totally a dream. He's a dream to be with. He's so compassionate, kind, loving. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tommy Mottola was one of the key influencers who really helped him. And, Peter Gelb, who's now the head of the Met, and he's surrounded by amazing believers in him because he instills that in others. And, I brought people from the first time to the last time. You see these loyal fans. We did a press meet and greet at the Greek consulate, and oh my gosh, it was like the Dalai Lama had walked through the door.
That's incredible.
I mean, because they know that his humanitarian spirit is what inspires his gift to touch and reach people. And it's amazing because each person's experience is so unique. I mean, you can walk in there from any walk of life. Like he said, he sang in 5 languages: French, Italian, Greek, Spanish, and English.
Amazing.
And every one of those languages was completely controlled by him. He knew exactly what he was doing. His phonetics were perfect. His diction was on point. And then the emotive part behind it is taking you to this whole different place. You may have been in your childhood. You may have been in your future. You may have been in the now. Who knows? But every single person in there was dead silent, new people to him, old people to him. I've never experienced a performer legitimately perform like that, and I've seen quite a few.
Well,
so I have to tell you, you're in for a dream.
I was telling him just when he was calling in a few minutes ago, that introducing him to people who don't know him. So my son, for example, has no idea what he's in for. And I think that's something that is so great about having him do this tour is just really getting people to see this type of talent and this type of just extraordinary person that we learn about him as a person, his story, his journey, and just the ability to sing in all these different languages and to put you in that space. Like Catherine was saying, he really was present, being in that moment. And I think it also will pull us to be in the present while we're there listening.
Well, he seems like such a different kind of celebrity, someone that really comes from the heart, really is such a role model for your typical I shouldn't say your typical because I don't necessarily know, but it seems like a lot of celebrities aren't really necessarily grounded in who they are. And he seems to really be connected with who he is as a person, as a humanitarian. And he comes from his heart in these performances to really connect with the audience. Like you said, Bianca, in a very different way and away from emotion, like his own personal emotions are really coming out.
Well, he has a very interesting story as well. So he was born in Zimbabwe and then raised in Greece, and he has a childhood to where he really wants to inspire other children to continue to move forward and to be educated and to achieve their goals through this passion and discipline that he calls music, which is why he partners with the Horatio Alger Foundation. And I didn't really know much about them until coming on board, but after reading all of the good work that they do, it's quite inspiring. And, ladies, the first comment I hear from everybody when they hear him at first is, why didn't I know about him before? And I said, I have no idea. I felt the same way.
Wow.
And it's so rare to find a talent like that who isn't, on Broadway or difficult to access. He's a people's man, and I almost feel like sometimes I want to give him, a presidential title and say, here you go rule the world,
Well, it sounds like he's got the right publicist there, someone, who's so aligned with the mission. I mean, really,
ladies are so sweet. But sincerely, apart from being on his team, it's truly an honor to know a man who has worked so hard and who has trained so hard. And this even brings up, I'm a huge supporter of vocalists getting their talent out there. And I do believe that The Voice and programs like American Idol give people that opportunity. But if you look at the longevity of his career, I mean, it's 20 plus years going through rehearsals and sustaining a vibrato for that long in his voice. And every time he busts, there were moments at times last night when I looked up and I was like, oh my God, can he do that again? Like, can he hold that note again?
Wow.
And sure enough, without fail, just the most beautifully angelic tone sustained through, 8 bars.
Wow.
Oh my God, how do you do that? You don't. It's superhuman. So
well, we're excited.
I can't tell you what a treat you're in for.
We're super excited, and we do have the 2 VIP tickets to give away, and so we'll connect after the show, and we'll hopefully be giving that to 2 lucky people out here in Los Angeles. But listen, safe travels. I know you've got another side trip, and then you're headed out here, but can't wait to see you.
We'll see you soon in LA.
Well, we cannot wait. And thank you, ladies, so much for your kind support. And I can guarantee you to those 2 ticket winners, whoever they are, engage on social because you will not regret it.
Don't want to miss this one, it sounds like.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you, ladies,
Talk to you
for
soon.
everything.
All right.
All right.
Safe travels.
Bye. Busy,
And
going
she
in
is
2 directions.
Going in 2 directions, but it sounds like they are truly so aligned. I mean, I know Bianca and you go way back. She really is a special person. I work with a lot of publicists in the work that I do. And I told her many times on many calls, she's a rare one. She really is. She has such a personal connection to every person that she represents. And it's like her own heartfelt connection that then, seems to ripple out through, her Mario and the many people that she represents.
Yeah.
She's really a kind, caring woman who always goes above and beyond.
Well, I hope we have introduced and caused you some intrigue that you'll go to. You can look at Mario's website. It's Mario Frangoulis. That's FRANGOULIS.com. And you'll see the rest of his tour. You also, if you are listening in from over in Europe, there are a lot of dates, really right up until like December 23rd. So check it out. Put him on your radar. Get some of his songs on SoundCloud. However you listen to your music, it is definitely one. We should actually tell Val's list.
Oh, that's
Make
a good
sure
idea.
She knows about That would be
I'll
really,
follow up with that one.
Yeah,
Val Haller, Val's list. We'll get it out there to her too. Great idea.
For sure. Because it's just nice to have new, artists that you may have not heard of before, and that all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I want to get everything that they've ever done and get it on my lists and have it for my holiday parties in my car.
Well, I'm with Bianca. I don't know how this man has stayed a secret for so long, but I don't think it's going to be much longer.
No, I think he's really stepping into a spot that is, that household name is right around the corner.
Right. I can't wait to see him and experience his energy in person. Sounds incredible.
I know. Awesome.